Smile big, ladies and gentlemen. You are on candid camera. This is Greg McLeod from Elite Traders University, and it's great to see you here on this wonderful Wednesday. I had a wonderful time with John Miller and his wedding to Sterling Pack. So Mr. and Mrs. Miller, and so John is a married man. He's joined the ranks. So big congratulations and a mazel tov to John Miller. And we spent some time with him and his family, my family. We got to meet face to face each other's families and celebrate a really great time. But now it's time to learn more about trading, diving deeper into the Forex cash machine. Earn predictable, consistent income every day without the guesswork or overwhelm. There you go. I just had this design done by some really talented people. So that's going to be our new logo. A little bit more graphic and more boom in your face, baby. Like make some money, click, 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 crank that money, right? Okay. So hope you guys had a great week. This is non-farm payroll week, and during non-farm payroll, I know if you watched the video that I placed in the chat box, the best times to trade currencies. And a lot of people think the market is this 24-hour, 7-day-a-week cash-generating machine. And the thing about it is there are times of the month, times of the year, times of the day where the market kind of like just doesn't do anything. In fact, about 80% of the Forex volume happens in the first few hours of London, and the rest of it is like pretty pathetic once you get outside of the New York-London overlap, okay? So we want to trade where it's most liquid. Now, another great thing about the Forex cash machine is that during those liquid times, you can find opportunities because what happens is the market makers try to manipulate price. They try to move things around because there's not that many people around. So they'll try to push it in one direction, and then that way you get prices outside of their normal ranges. So they're in the red range. They're orange and red, and they're extreme red. And what that does is they're trying to hit people's stops. Now, when they're hitting people's stops, you can jump in on them and buy on the other side because they're at an extreme. And so, boom, you get that rocket up. And then sometimes you can cash in on a quick, 5, 10, 15 pips, right? When you've got that type of a move. So look for long wick candles outside of those boundaries, outside of those price channels. And that way, then you go ahead and you can take advantage of them. You can catch them naked and run them on the other way, right? When they snap back, you get a free ride. But I'll talk more about that before. Let me first take care of some legal stuff. And again, big howdy do to all you. See who's all in the room. I see Derek from the UK, my brother, and then Sean, $$ Sean Evans. Glad to have you in the room as well. We're gonna go ahead and give a big shout out to you guys. Early bird gets the worm, so I'm not gonna hold anyone else. You guys gotta catch it in the recording because I'm live. It's not Memorex, guys. This is live. Okay, moving right along. Oh, bam! Let's go ahead and hit the risk disclaimer. Make sure you understand all the risks associated with foreign exchange trading. And let me go a quick check in the. And then I know Derek's been on vacation too. Welcome back. I mean, he went to Morocco and some really nice places. I know probably a lot more sun and a lot more warmer than where I was. Sunny California was cloudy and overcast, but a cloudy overcast day in California is a good day. Better than tornadoes. Okay, but let me know if you can hear my voice. Can you type the number 1 in the box if you can hear my voice? And if you can't, you probably can't type 1, right? It's like some smart app. 1, all right. 41 Celsius. Dang, that's hot. I don't understand metrics, but I know when you're up there, it's in Fahrenheit. That's some hot stuff. And then if you can see my screen, you can type the letter 2, the number 2. It's like, what's in that cup, Greg? Coffee. All right, good. Thank you, Derek. All right. Glad to have you back. Part of the family here from all over the world, all over the country. And glad to have you here. And you guys know who I am. I'm the founder and CEO of Elite Traders University. And so I've been doing this for a lot of years. And I'm really glad to be able to help you guys make money in this market. and be able to introduce to you this really powerful strategy that's not, it's been, I didn't invent it. But working at a large bank and working at a large unnamed forex brokerage, you get access to some things. I mean, I put some spin on it, and I tell you this strategy, and I probably told this story before, is like when I introduced it to Walker England, and Walker, congratulations to Walker England, he just had a baby. I know there's so many babies being born, I got confused because it wasn't. Eddie V didn't have a baby yet. His wife didn't have a baby yet. It was Tom Jones. Tom Jones is in the UK too, but he had to take all his money out of the forex, and he had put it all on the baby. So we expect Tom to come back to the Pip and Run room. But Tom is in the UK. I'd like to get Tom and Derek together. Maybe do a UK session out there soon. So we have that's. A lot of babies being born, but when when we had this strategy like Walker England, that was my story. Or I would develop these strategies or piece them together and then introduce them to Walker. And I said, Walker, this is beta test. This is a beta test. Don't use any live money on this. He goes, I'm monkey in space. You know how we launched the monkey in outer space first before we launched real people. Well, Walker was my monkey, and so he goes, I'll put real money on this. I'm like, don't do it. He goes, I doubled my account, Greg. This thing works. I'm like going, and then everyone gathers around Walker. He says, where do you get the strategy from Greg? So I shared it with them. I shared it with them. And I had Pip and Run. I wasn't sharing anything with Pip and Run, but I did share Forex Cash Machine with the floor, and my boss was trading it. Excuse me, I think Greg's signal system is giving a signal right now. I'm going to my office. I'll be right back. I'm like going, wait a minute, man. And then the people in New York were trading it. Well, you've got all of FXCM trading the system, and everyone was like counting how much money they're gonna make because it was just that quick. I mean, I picked up some on Pound Dollar. If you guys saw that in the chat room, I posted that, and I scored 37 pips, $37 on a 0.10 lot, a 0.1 lot. Not bad, And I got stopped out on the other one, but it still netted out positive, okay? And we'll talk about those. But okay. So who else we got in the room there? Oh, we got Derek in 2 lines. Okay, we got double Derek in stereo phonics. Okay, going right along. Okay, so let's go ahead and get right to it. Get back to our strategy, and let's get to a. I don't have a. Let's see if we can get something going on here. I'm gonna put the simulator up. Okay, and I hope you feel better. Hear a little bit of a cough there. I'm just gonna mute your mic, and let's do this. Can't drag it over. Drag it over. Okay. Drag it over. Okay. Drag it over. Okay. So here we go. For those of you, we're gonna just kind of like start from the basics and do kind of a basic. The whole idea is that price is like a rubber band, and when you stretch it so far, I thought I had a rubber band around there, but I don't. But you stretch it so far, and it snaps back. Okay. And so we're basically looking for, and I posted this in the chat room about the euro. I don't know anybody take that euro trade or saw the euro trade and thought about it. Again, I'm not a signal service, and I want people to not think of me as a signal service. Everything I post is for education, but if you earn while you learn is a pretty good deal, right? I mean, like you never go all in, but but it's very important to have stops in place. Very important to have stops in place. Okay. Like so someone shared with me a CAD yen trade, and so we have our lines, right? And okay, it makes sense to go short. It bounced off the upper line. Your target, well, your target is the median line, right? If you got in at the median line, which is that purple line that goes in between these three sets of bands, well, then your target is the median line, which we hit, or the next Bollinger Band, which we hit too, right? And we hit that Bollinger Band several times. That's what we're looking for. Now, if we do get short, can we zoom in on this a little bit more maybe? Is this area, that old swing high is your stop, okay? And let me just do a diagram. Now, I know, I think I have, yeah, I might have to do another diagram. I have a stop diagram sheet for pip and run, but it's the same thing, right? Stops, you've got, if you have a move, right? You missed it. We're hitting some type of bands. Ooh, okay, we got some bands, not drawn to scale, right? Move comes down, right? This is your old swing high, okay? What is a swing high? There is no, if you are, like I was, honestly, I didn't put a stop on my Aussie trade and I forgot. Like, I said, okay, I was in the airport, I just put the trade on, and, I didn't put a take profit in it either, so I missed it too, right? So it's my bad, right? Because the strategy, if you read this strategy guide, let me pull up the strategy guide too, okay? Let me just go back, because it's very important for you guys to stay access to Skype, and also access the resource binder, okay? So I'm going to go to the resource binder here, and you should have a link. Let me know in the chat box if you have access to the resource folder on the G drive. Let me know, okay? Very important stuff, right? Got Christian K. Who's Christian K? Oh, you start. Oh, okay. You threw me off, man. I'm gonna kick you out of the room and ban you. Like, who's this unauthorized guy? Got access to material. I've never seen that name before. Dude, you were this close. I had my button. That's okay. No worries. Yeah. I got a sales guy. I love him. He's like a brother. His name's Abu Bakar. I said, Abu Bakar, you got to give me an English name. You got to give me something short and easy because, dude, I'm sorry, and it's not, I'm not racist or anything like that, but there's people out there who are going to think that you are a Taliban or, they're just ignorant people. And so you need to, like, do Steve or Brian or something, American normal, because you just don't want that to stop you from being, from having access to people. People do that all the time. When they came, to Ellis Island to Statue of Liberty, people had long names, maybe long, Slovenian names, or and they cut them and they play, okay, Spasowski, and they chopped the ski off, or they made it shorter. Why? Madonna is not. Her name is not Madonna. Whoopi Goldberg is not named Whoopi. Her name's like Karen something. Brad Pitt's not Brad Pitt. So all the movie stars, all the great movie stars, and David Bowie and Richard Starkey. How about Ringo Starr? Well, not much better, but still. But still, these guys, they create stuff for branding and for marketing. It's not against your culture. I believe in people having pride in their culture. If you're Muslim, be proud of your culture. If you're Mexican, be proud of your culture. If you're African American, be proud of your culture. If you're Polish, be proud of your culture. Be proud of your culture, but understand that when you get rich, then you could do whatever you want to do. This is my name, and what are you going to do about it? I'm a billionaire. What you going to do? Really? Yeah. But until then, you play the game until you make it rich, and then you can go ahead and, that's just my philosophy, right? Okay, so you have access. Okay, so you should have access to this. And I gave a link. I can put another link in the box in case nobody got it. I see everyone has it. But everyone see your names are in here. So you have access and you got an email, right? I'll probably change Sheehan. Oh, Kenneth Rags. See, he needs to, and they got to check in, and you know, he's a new guy too, but he hasn't checked in. So guess what? He's not going to be able to have access. Okay. So anyway, let me get back to the folder. Okay. So so we have our cash machine documents, and we have our Forex cash machine indicators, and we have our templates. And I don't know what that is. Nothing. Okay. Good job, Greg. All right. So resources, you guys have this one and this one. So the documents, let's go to the documents. And you have the getting started, next steps. And you might not need that. Okay. So it tells you basically how to install your templates. Okay. So the instructions how to do that. Okay. And here's the strategy guide. Right. So the strategy guide, you know, we have we have the parabolic SARs, 3 of those, red, orange, and green. We have 3 Bollinger Bands, red, orange, and yellow. And then I don't know. There should be. I had a green. It may be green, but as long as you have 3 different colors and you have it set at 50. And then you have an RSI, and that RSI, we're going to change that to 10. Okay? Change that to 10. I don't know why it says 14. Force a habit. The 10 is better. You get more links in there. Okay? So after you do it, you should have something that looks like this. And if I can enlarge this, make it bigger, like 200. Yeah, there you go, baby. There you go. So it should look like this. So you have 3 bands, right? Now your best opportunities to trade, you know, like someone asked me, is there a strategy guide or anything? I go, yeah. No, this is a great, when we get movement outside of the farthest band, that is a really good trade setup. Okay, that's really good. In fact, Sean showed me one on the Aussie dollar. And I made money off that trade. Thank you, brother. And lots of love for you, brother. So, you got to break outside that band, right? And then RSI is our trigger. So, we got 2 trigger mechanisms. This one is our first one. You look, RSI is usually going to cross, you draw a trend line on RSI. You manually draw a trend line. I also gave you a special indicator which actually draws a trend line. Sometimes it doesn't draw it as good as you can do it yourself, but that's additional confirmation. Now, the parabolics can be a little laggy, so by the time you wait for it to give you the signal to get short, you know, you probably missed out on something, right? Yeah. Yes, Christian, go ahead. He has a question. And last 2-3 days I'm not doing so great on the signal. I mean, my win rate is above 60% usually. But I want better percentage. I know we set our stop above last peak low, but I think I have some problems with reversing my position. Do we always reverse? Where do we place the stop loss reverse position? I don't reverse my position unless we have, you know, when we add the ADX, okay? Because it's telling me that basically 80% of the time, guys, the market is going to be in a range. 80%, right? Let me even pause on this swing high thing, right? I do want to complete my idea, but this is your stop. So 80% of the time, this system is going to work, right? The 20% of the time, when it starts trending, you know, basically you're going, you know, and if you're talking pip and remedies, you're hitting a wave 3, right? You're going from 3 to a 5, but for the most part, think about it. You know, waves 1 and 2, that's a range. Waves 3 to the 4 is a range, right? So you got two areas of range and another area of trend, and then you have a range from like A, from 5 to wave. The beginning of C is a range, and then we drop down from 1 and 2 and start the range again. But your stop is always there, right? So you might get stopped out. This could be a 3, and you're going short, and you know. But we're trying to go for the band. Our target is the median band. Okay, our target is always the median band. If we're shorting here, if we're entering here on a short, we're targeting the median band. If it breaks, we take off majority of our positions here, and then we have these other bands below, right? So we are targeting those bands. So we got the bands down there, and then price continues down, right? If it does continue down, then we target maybe like the middle band, right? So we target the next band if we're entering on the median trade, right? And let's say if we're getting long median band and it bounces up, then our stop is below the, you know, this point here. So we're placing our stop below the turning point. Where there's a turning point, add 5 or 6 pips. Maybe you need to add 10 pips. Give it a little bit of wiggle room and place your stop at any turning point. Okay? So, okay, you reverse the trade, you place your stop above the last swing. If you reverse a trade, you place your stop below that swing. You're always placing your stops at these swing points. And those stops should not be more than 1 to 2% of your account. So you may get chopped up 60%. All right? You may win 60 and lose 40. Lose 4 trades out of 10. Eventually, you're going to get a breakout, and that thing is going to keep going. And that 6 out of 10 will make more money, which is a lot. Because first of all, the real rule is 20% of your trades will make 80% of your money. But if you're winning 60% of your trades, you know, you're killing this if you are keeping your stops low. You're keeping that 2% stop. Okay. So let me get to your question. So you're not doing too great on the simulator, and I don't know what currency pairs you're using. And also, when you track the simulator, and that's the only thing, majors, okay. And then I haven't given you guys that. I need to put that in the resource manual, but there is one in the Pip and Run one which you can use, and I'm going to bring it over. It's called it's the trade tracker. So it'd be cool if you could track the date and time of where these simulating trades are going, so you can see maybe you're trading at an off time of the year. I mean, we can do one. Let's go ahead. In fact, let's do a simulation together, right? And then we can actually let's see this. Okay, so I'm gonna go. This is my chart, and then I go to View, Strategy Tester, and we want to trade a major. Now I've actually got some different. I can choose. I loaded some data in. Let me show you how to get more data. Okay, this is really now. You guys have the FX Blue Strategy Tester. Again, the rule. We have our strategy guide. Okay, let's go to our strategy guide, because that's one thing you gotta, when you're reading stuff from other people. And God bless, I love Mark Douglas. He was my mentor. But I had debates with Mark Douglas too. We used to have these debates. But this is our if we're getting this is our entry, and this is our entry, right? Now price came down. It did not quite get to the median line, right? So if it gets somewhere in here and you got a double bottom, you need to be able to say, oh, I've gotten a lot of pips from here to here. Okay, I'm not going to be an idiot. I'm going to say I didn't go all the way to target, but I'm going to close out this trade. Because why? I've got RSI forming an inverted head and shoulders, a trend line break. But, so you get people getting whiny. Well, Greg, it didn't go down to the median line, and it turned up on me. I'm like going, dude, come on now. You've got good profit from here to here. Take it. Right? Take it. Take it. I mean, especially if this is telling you. It's screaming at you. We didn't have this. When I first had this system, this is my invention. This is my contribution to this Bollinger Band system. RSI trendline break. In fact, you won't even find people talking about RSI trendline break. I add RSI trendline break, and I just added ADX. So when this thing starts rocketing and taking off, right? Maybe you've had it where you've gotten short and it keeps going long. Well, ADX is above 33. That's going to tell you that, oh, let me get out of here, baby. It's Amityville Horror, right? So you've got to pay attention to what's going on. If it gets down to here and you've got trendline break and RSI, get out, right? That's telling you to get out. But it didn't get the median line. It didn't hit my target. But if you're up 15 pips, what are you doing? Are you going to leave 15 pips because it didn't get to the line? But if you didn't get to the line, the rules say it has to get to the line. It doesn't have to get to the line because the market does what it wants to do. The limit that you set at the line is a guideline. But if price starts to turn around and you start getting buy signals when you're short and it doesn't get to that line and you're up 10, 15 pips. Oh, no. I'm not saying don't have a sensitive skin, all right? Because I'm a coach. I'm going to get in your face. I'm going to get in everybody's face, not just you. Because I get this I get people from the pip and run. Well, Greg, it didn't get to the old wave 4 low. This system doesn't work. So don't get, be open and be coachable. So when I'm doing this, I'm basically trying to open, okay? So I'm not, I love you. I love all you guys, but I just don't want you to, sometimes the way we're trained in school and the way we're trained by society doesn't match with trading. And sometimes the only way to really break that is to, like those sergeants, the guys with the little hats in the military, they gotta do that. Or maybe your personal trainer, your coach, kind of break the habits. Because sometimes people do. They'll say all the time, I mean, even when I worked in the brokerage, well, it didn't get there. Well, it doesn't have to get there. But if I'm 98% to target, I sure don't want to go to Walmart, right? And it happened to me. Look, I even admit it. I was Aussie short. Aussie came down, had a long wick. Didn't have my take profit at the median line. It got to the median line, and I didn't get out. And I wound up getting a 9-pip loss. I mean, I was down like 26 pips, but I got down to 9 pips and closed it at a 9-pip loss. I'm like, oh, look, I was an idiot. My bad, right? It wasn't the system. But a lot of times what happens for people, if it doesn't do exactly, then they throw the system away. And then you go off to another system, and it works for a while because it works for a while, but then you start making mistakes and executing it, and then you throw the system away, and then you get the shiny object syndrome. You're moving from one thing to another. But it's just, we got to be, to look at this as like, okay, now for pip and run graduates, this is, 3, 4, 5 slingshot, right? This is what this is, right? 5, and if you threw a MACD on that, you know what that is. I mean, again, that's a whole different class. I'm not blending them together because it's just, I want to keep it simple because if you get this sell signal here, you don't have to count waves. All you gotta do is press the sell button and get out. And if you're making if you're up 10, 15, 20 pips, take them. If you're up 8, 9 pips, take them. And if you're trading at 0.1, you're making $8, $9, $10 a shot, you take it, right? Here, here's your upper band. We're crossing that. Break of the RSI. We have something called RSI divergence, RDE, RSI divergence event, where a new high in price, lower high in RSI, I'm shorting this bad boy all day long, right? So that is, now let's say we get here, we can draw a trend line. Let me do this. Let's do copy. Oh, you gotta go? Oh, okay. You had some great questions, man. You had some great questions. So thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Let me okay. Let me go here. All right. And I hope this is recording. We are recording. All right. I had to restart the computer again, but here is, okay. Don't save. Okay. So, okay. Where's my, okay. I have to do this. I have to do, because Google sometimes doesn't want to, this is a Google sheet, and sometimes it doesn't want to act. Right. All right. There we go. All right. So let me show you something. All right. You're gonna have you can put a trend line on this. Trend line, right? Look at that trend line break. Yeah, trend line break there. RSI broke earlier. That's how powerful this is. RSI breaks before the actual break of price, so you get a heads up there, right? But then you have another. You can do trend line to trend line, and then there's a trend line break there, right? And I wanted Christian to stay around for this because I wanted to see if this is where you would reverse the trade, right? You're short, your target's the median. It doesn't get to the median. That means buyers are stepping in, guys. These guys aren't waiting for the median line to get hit. They're not waiting for it. Usually they're waiting for the pullback and they're going to buy the dip. They're buying the dip before the median line. That tells you that there's still a lot of bullish sentiment in this. RSI also is bottoming out, breaks. Trend line break, you're long here, right? Now, ideally, we'd like this to bounce off the median line and break the trend line, but sometimes you gotta look at this and think what's going on. Ordinarily, prices move in a range. So we went to the top of the range and we're into the bottom of the range. But we don't get to the bottom of the range. The thing stops before the bottom, which means buyers are jumping in on this so strongly that they're not letting this drop too far. So that's telling me, they're buying this, right? I mean, have you ever tried to sniper something on eBay? Am I the only one that still uses eBay? But sometimes they'll have something on eBay, right? And they'll have this really low bid, like it's like $2 for something that's like $50. And you go, I'm gonna get it for $2, right? You try to get for $2, that thing jumps up to like 25. Then it's like 55. I'm like, no, I'm not in that, right? But they're not gonna. They're gonna bid the price up. It's an auction. The forex market is an auction, and right now here prices here, that's cheap. So people start buying, and then they go, oh, it's here, and they buy it, and there's all this FOMO. Fear of missing out. FOMO. So that's a FOMO candle. Right? And then it's up there. And now people are late. They're getting in. It's not making a new high. There's less momentum because the smart money got out here. Retail money jumped in there. And now we can target this Bollinger Band a little bit higher. Right? So but this was our sell setup. And we also had a buy setup in there, and we had another sell setup. And we could draw a trend line across that. This is a steep parabolic line. We could wait for that trend line to break. We have RSI breaking. And then, the parabolics are probably not going to kick in until it gets to about here. But once it gets there, it's confirmation, and you can actually add on to the trade here, right? So let's go ahead and go back to the strategy guide. I just wanted to show you now the RSI trend line break. So why use RSI? RSI is a lagging indicator. RSI tracks the lows and the highs, and when the lows start getting weaker, it starts sending a signal early. So when this thing breaks the trend line, it's going to break the trend line before price, which is pretty powerful. That gives us that edge that we didn't have when we first had this system many years ago. So you get to have this. So price either reached orange or red Bollinger Band. Now, I've taken some off the lower bands as well. And you want to look for some type of reversal candlestick pattern, right? Or you can wait for price to, or price has bounced up from the median line, right? Now, you can wait for all three colored dots. This is a conservative strategy here. If you wait for the PSARs to go above the candle, our first take profit is the median line. That's the first take profit. If price started from the lower Bollinger Band. If price started from the median line, take profit at the second orange line. So let's say we get here. RSI trend line break. We have a candle. Look at all the PSARs lined up on the bottom, and it keeps going. Our first take profit is the median line, right? Now, and we use that TP2 for the next line, which is here. Now, it actually goes even, and it kind of bombs out. Nice double top on RSI. This could be a setup to go short. I don't know, but that this tells you right here. Now, I'm using an hour chart, but you can use 5 minute, you can use 1 minute, you can use it on any time frame. I prefer the 1 hour. It is just me. But remember, if you're nailing it off the 5 minute, you're probably going to get 5, 6, 7 pips. And then if you're doing something off the hour, you're probably looking for maybe 15 to 20, 25 or 30 pips, right? But it also depends on how much time you have to sit in front of the screen. If you're really busy, you're driving a truck, you're running a business, you're using computers at another business, you may not want to. You want to probably be in and out of the trade, so you're not thinking about it, right? Or you might say, hey, this might take a couple of hours to get up here, which it did. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It took like 10 hours, And I would, for my suggestion to you guys is, so you can build a belief in the system. Start off on the shorter time frames and take quick profits. You might not make a lot because maybe you're trading a 0.01 lot or something like that, so making 10 cents a pip. And you get 6 and 7 pips, and you say, it's 60 cents, Greg, or it's $1, Greg. This is not a whole lot. But what this is going to do is going to build confidence that, so you can actually get into an hour chart trade, and you won't keep looking at it. You can say, look, I'm going from, my stop is at the low. I got my stop just below the low. I got confirmation. I got this RSI trend line break here, and I'm going to take this back. Maybe make it like 150. I got my stop below. Let's put my stop in there. Make sure it's 2%, or less of my account. Get long on the break of a trend line, or PSARs go below. Set my take profit 1 at the median line. Set take profit 2, and don't look at it, all right? And then you can, but what's going to happen if you do it now? You're going to keep looking at that red candle's going to shake you out. Greg is turning around on me. I don't know what to do. All right, I don't want to hear that. You want to be able to trust this as it's going up, right? So that's your buy candle. PSAR is the bottom. Again, that's the conservative entry where you can be sure, get those. And maybe if you're having trouble, maybe if you're getting stopped out or whatever or not, you probably need to go conservative, all right? Because you're out of rhythm. Maybe you're out of sync with the market. And sometimes, if I'm really aggressive, I'm doing good, I keep being aggressive. But the moment I start losing, getting stopped out a lot, then I pare it down. I lower my position size, and I start looking, look, I want confirmation. I want the dots at the bottom. I want the trend line break. I want this thing to bounce off to here. I want to enter close to my stop. I want to have a stop, very, small stop, and I want to have a pretty good limit, okay? So you have to make adjustments, just like the Raptors and the Golden State Warriors, and the Golden State Warriors getting killed, going into halftime, and it's like a 15-0 run on the Raptors running against the Warriors. They'll call timeout. They'll make some adjustments, right? Maybe they're gonna put 2 guys on this other guy. Maybe they're gonna cover Curry some more. Maybe they're gonna take away the outside shot. they're going to go play man-on-man or zone. They make adjustments because they're getting clobbered some way. So you need to be able to reflect on your trade and say, look, I'm having some problems in this area. This is happening over and over again. And so you need to make an adjustment. There's always an adjustment you can make. The market can't keep killing you unless you let it. You have to make an adjustment. And the adjustments you can make is, hey, smaller position size. Hey, wait for confirmation. Hey, go to a smaller time frame or go to a higher time frame. Smaller time frames kicking your butt, go higher. Higher time frames kicking your butt, go lower. Make an adjustment. Each adjustment is going to be different for each person, okay? You got to know which button to press. You may have lots of buttons, right? Lots of buttons on the remote control, but only certain ones will give you the right combination to unlock what you're trying to get to, right? Certain ones, smaller. If you're now you see if you lose 2%, you know I want you to take a look at the spreadsheets in there too. You can lose 2%. You can lose like 25 trades in a row at 2%, and still maintain over half of your account, right? And you can come back from that. But if you are risking 10, 15, 20% of your account, and you place a trade and you have a $1,000 account, now you have $500, you're trading too large, guys. You're trading way too large. You don't have to do that. You don't have to swing for the fences. So, let's go ahead. Now, rules for short trading. Okay. I think we had a short trade, right? Here's a long trade. Here's our long, and we took the median line. Now, here's our short. Price has reached either the orange or red Bollinger Band. Preferably, the high probability trade is when trades go outside that farthest band. That is, you probably have a 90% chance of making money on this trade if this thing spikes out above the red, and you have a trend line break, right? So, and you can see how this was dollar CAD, and PSARs went. I waited conservatively, waited for those dots to get above. Still a trend line break. I could have gotten short here, and price dropped to the median line. First take profit. Now here is where it did not get to the Bollinger Band. It got close. Then price rallied up. PSARs went to the bottom. So this thing kind of flipped around. And hey, take profit. Close it out. Right? But it didn't get to the last Bollinger Band. Well, it didn't. And what? Right? You just gotta like say, hey man, take your money. You made good money from here to here. Take it. Take the money. Right? Pip and run is also a philosophy that you can apply to other trade systems where give me my money. Take the money and run. And from here to here, we went to 33, let's say 33.50 down to 33.20. You made 30 pips here. Okay? But if you're trying to go for the 100 because you think, I feel it's going to go, don't feel and don't think, right? Look and trade according to what you see. Not what you think, and not what you hope, and not what you believe, and not based on how much money you want to make to buy, new pair of shoes or new computer or whatever not, or a new vacation. Take what the market's going to give you. Now, in this case, it actually did get to that lower Bollinger Band. It did do that, right? But if it starts turning up on you, you got money, lock it in because you can always get back in, right? You can always draw a trend line across these lows. You can draw a trend line across these lows. Let's see if I can do that. You can draw a trend line across these lows here and get short here. You guys see that? Trend line across the lows. You exit it here, exit. Take the money and run. And if this thing doesn't spike up, it's holding, it's still holding a downward trend line. Short it. Boom. There's your RSI is telling you ahead of time, get in this trade short. Remember, RSI trend line break is an early warning to get short. Okay. So that gives you that early warning. Any questions so far? Does it make sense? If it does, give me a number 3 in the chat box. 3 if you understand, or 4 you want me to go over something again. $3 sign, nice. Yeah, I think I might add that as a new letter in all of my. I think that there's a rapper that does that too. But this is what it looks like. 3 dots on top. All 3 parabolic. Now this is a conservative. I find that you miss a lot of trades if you wait for the PSARs to line up. The RSI gives us a much earlier trigger, and so I take the RSI trigger. Now I've got this, and I'm making money. I'll add when this shows up. That gives me like a little additional. I'll add extra to my position. Now there's special conditions. Exit a trade before standard take profit areas if all 3 PSAR dots flip up in the opposite direction of the trend. Okay, so that's special condition there. So if in case all 3 dots are here, price is dropping down, right? Price is dropping down, and then those dots go from the bottom to the top, and now we're here. It does a Drake on you. You need to like get out. It's like Amityville Horror. Get out. Hey, did you hear something? Oh, it's just the wind. No, it's a sign. Get out. It's like one of those horror movies. These guys, and like wandering around. Let's split up. That's like, you all are gonna die. Why am I watching this? All right, and you get your dots. Went from the now they're here. They went from the top. Their Drake song played backwards. They went from the top to the bottom, and now we're here, right? When they flip, you want to get out now, and you can always get back in. You can always get back in. But why risk why if you're already up money, if you already have money in the market, why do you want to leave money on the table? Never risk more than 2% of your account. Okay, very, very, very important to do not to do that. Okay, let's see, 2%. Let's see if I can. I've got a spreadsheet here. Let's go back to resources. Resource documents. Documents. Hello. More. My drive, Leechers University, spreadsheets, checkerboard, AIM, account growth model. Where is the? I don't have hers in there, right? Download. Okay, I have one where it shows if you lost 2% on every trade, how much money you would have left. Maybe is this it? Percentage risk. Yeah, if you lost 2%, 2%, 2%. I mean, and you gain 2%. But let's say you lost all of them. Okay. She made me that. Svetlana made me this spreadsheet, and I'll put some spreadsheets in the cash machine folder. But it was really interesting that if you lose 2%, if you have a $1,000 account, you lose 2%, you can lose like 15, 20 trades in a row. You get like an idiot. No, it's not saying. No, it's possible, but not probable that you lose 15 trades in a row, right? And if you're just losing 2%, 15 trades, I mean, simple, stupid math, and it's probably a different number. But let's say you lost 15 trades in a row, 2%, 30%. You get 70% of your account left to make up, right? The whole idea is that if you lose small and you can make 4% on each trade, then you're gonna outdo the market, right? You can stay in the market longer. So in this case here, we had a rally up to a line, a sell, right? And the target was, there was a target. We had median line and lower Bollinger Band. And when this thing got up here, if you're still in the trade because you didn't have a take profit, well then you should be stopped out, right? And you shouldn't be riding it up here, right? You have to have that stop. I don't care how pretty the trade is. It could be a red line trade outside the Bollinger Band with a spike. You better have a stop on that, because you never know. A Trump tweet, a Powell tweet, a Kirshner tweet, any of the guys, any of these talking heads say something or tweet something, this thing goes up. Your whole account is at risk. Okay, so it's very important for you to do that. Okay, let's we're approaching the top of the hour, so let's go ahead and go. If there are not any more questions, we're gonna go to simulation. I want to go to simulation, right? Yeah, that's what. So it's so the strategy session is over. That part of the strategy session where we talk about strategy, all right? Make sure I covered all that. Let's see more time. Yeah. Okay. Get back. Yeah. Never risk more than 20% of your account in multiple non-correlated pairs. So this doesn't mean that, oh, I only have one trade risking 2%. You can have multiple trades on, because what will happen is you have 2% risk, and then guess what? Maybe that trade goes into profit. It goes into profit, you have nothing at risk, right? Which means that 2% is free for you to have another trade. Well, how many 2% trades do you want to open up? Well, you really should have no more than 20% of your account, or basically you can have 10 trades open. You really can't have multiple trades. But the risk has to be 2%. If you open up multiple trades with like some with 15%, some risking 20%, some risking 50% of your account, then that's when you blow up the account, right? But you can diversify and have a basket of currencies that are not correlated. Maybe a euro dollar and a pound Kiwi and a euro Aussie, right? Each risking 2%. Well, the chances are that all 10 trades will screw up are low, right? Now, there's a chance that maybe 2 or 3 of them turn out to be winners, right? And the other 4 or 5 become losers, right? But if there are 4 or 5 losers at 2%, okay, we lost 8% of your account. But the other 6 ones may have profit, and they may have profit of maybe 3% or 4%, well, that's 24%. Right? You subtract 24 from the 8% that you lost, and you've got 16% profit. So let me just explain that 2% does not mean one trade. Okay. Any one trade, the risk is 2%. I know it's kind of hard because no one's really breaking it down for you. Let me know if you understand this, or have you heard this before? Does this kind of enlighten you a little bit? Okay. But I think that's really understandable, because people are like going, my God, I got this account. I'm not going to make any money because I only can open up one trade at 2%. I think that's what people are thinking. Let me know if you thought that way too. Let me know in the chat box. Because it's really important, because if you're making like 50 cents on one trade a day, you're not going to get really excited about this strategy or any strategy. And then you're going to start taking really crazy risks because you think you need to do that. Right? So let's say you have a $1,000 account. Right? So you have a $1,000 account. Right? So a $1,000 account, your risk is 2%. On one trade. On any one trade. Let me write this out. On any single trade, the risk, and we're going to keep it could be 2 to 3 or 2 to 5%, but let's, for example, we're going to say 2%. And on any single trade, you risk 2%. On any single trade, 2%. But I didn't say only take one trade. Okay. I think once you understand this, and then you put this into practice, however, I'm going to put however, you can risk up to 20% on a basket of non-correlated pairs. It doesn't mean I'm going to open up a trade on pound yen, Aussie yen, euro yen, Swiss yen, dollar yen. No, that's not diversified. You're basically taking out a 20% risk trade on the yen, okay? Because they're all correlated. So you gotta think, well, Greg said I can take out. I'm gonna open up like euro yen, pound yen, Aussie yen. No, that's not what I said. Okay. But sometimes the brain is lazy and it just jumps to like the easy thing, right? Or I might say, oh well, pound dollar, euro dollar, Aussie dollar. No, those are all correlated too, right? So they have to be non-correlated. Each one with a risk of non-correlated pairs, each risking 2% per trade. Okay. Is that clear? Let me know in the chat box. Let me have a 1 if you understand, an amen or something, all right? So, what would that look like? Okay, so I can risk up to 20%. So 20% of $1,000 is $200, right? And I can divide that by 2% risk. I can divide that out, right, into 10 trades. So 2% risk, I got that much money available, 2% risk, and I can have 10 trades. Right? I can have 10 trades. And and then that means I can risk $20 in each trade. Now, this is as long as you can do, as long as you can make like a one to one, you're risking $1 to maybe 1.6 to, okay, or more per trade. Because if your risk is higher than your profit, you'll probably blow up. Right? Your risk of, they call it risk of ruin. Your risk of ruin goes up dramatically. But if you have an edge, in the market of 0.65, and some people are hitting, and let's say like Chris, he says, oh, I'm only hitting 60%. Well, most people are hitting like 20%, so you're actually doing really well. So as long as you have these parameters there, you can you can do that, right? So you can have one trade risking $200, right? That means you're trading a standard lot. But you can adjust your position size so your trade is risking no more than 2%, right? Then 2% is $20. You can divide that $20 any way you want. I'm looking for the chat box, right? Okay, good. Okay, you understand. Cool. All right. So once you have that, and now if you're, we're getting your, like Terry said, he was up to 92% accuracy. He's probably dropped a little bit, because of some trades. 65%. Now think about it. If you're hitting 65% or 80% win rate, and you've got this going on, you're making money. Mathematically, just making money, right? Because your losses are so small, your gains are good, and you're taking multiple trades, you're risking 20% of your account in a basket of diversified currency. So let me show you what that basket could look like. It could be EUR AUD, right? There's no dollar in there. But I could also have GBP USD, right? They're not correlated. And I could have, so I don't want to trade AUD, I don't want to trade EUR, and I'm not going to trade a pound or a dollar, right? So I could do CHF JPY, right? I could do an AUD NZD would work. Because why? Because this is kind of a cross currency in the same region, and there's not a real correlation between Euro Aussie and Aussie Kiwi. So you don't want things that are like, they're 100% positive or negatively correlated. You want something that's maybe, it could be 20 or 30% correlated. That means it's not gonna, if one goes up, the other one is not gonna go up too or go down, right? So you want them negatively correlated or positively correlated. You want them somewhat like not correlated at all. And you can go to a website. You can find out those correlations too. If you're not sure, there's a correlation table. Like I just had currency correlation. Currency correlations. So there's your, and then here's your chart of correlations that you can use right here. It tells you like 5-minute correlated, let's say hourly correlated. See, so you wouldn't want the euro is 69 correlated euro yen. So having euro dollar and euro yen in a basket, they're too correlated, Like, but look, dollar yen 70% correlated with the euro or the Aussie dollar. So you can put Aussie dollar and euro yen in a basket, right? Because why? It's 17% correlated. Like euro Aussie, like minus 9.7 correlated. It's actually 42% correlated to the pound dollar, right? Euro Aussie is 4% correlated to the euro. So that's that would probably be something too. Euro Aussie and euro are not correlated. Now, if it's minus 100 or negative 100, that means they're highly correlated. But you can go to this correlation table. I'll give you the link in the chat box. And for those of you who are watching the video, it's called mataf, mataf.net Forex correlations. Okay. So then you can find, and that's how you can create your basket. Look at your time frame and find ones that are not correlated that much to compose your basket. Okay. All right. So now we've got, we've created our non-correlated basket. We have our risk parameters, and so now let's actually go here, right? And so let's go. Tell me a pair that you might want to trade. You want some practice on. Don't be shy. We can kind of trade together and go through the thought process of going through the market. Okay. Now I do like using the hour, and I don't see any volunteers. So okay, we're going to I'm gonna go dollar CAD, and if you have the simulator programmed in, who has something? Dollar CAD. Oh, dollar CAD. Okay. So dollar CAD, we're doing the hour. Now let me show you how to get more data. Go to Tools and go to History Center. F2. Go to History Center. You go there, and then go to your ECN, right? And then you can add data. So let's say you go to, if you want to trade Aussie Kiwi, and it's all gray. You don't have enough data in there. Oh, wow. Okay. So just go ahead and click, like, maybe you want to trade the hour, right? Click that. It's gray. And click Download. Then it says you are going to download data from MetaQuotes, right? If you still want to continue, press OK. Please do not forget that download history may differ. This is why these data cannot be used in disputes over historical prices of TW. If you still want to continue, press OK. So we'll press OK. Oh. Okay. And they gave me 2019. They gave me a lot of data there for the hour. It's all 2019. Let's go to daily and download. Okay. Now give me a lot of data. Oh, there it goes. So I got 2012 on the daily. 4-hour data. Click download. Click OK. And I got data to okay. So I got that's pretty good. I mean, it's like 2 years of data. I was getting a lot more for other currency pairs. Let's say let's do dollar CAD, and we can choose any date we want. 2010. We can choose. Hey, let's go 2011. Right? Let's go 2011. I don't know. 2011. Let's do February 16th. Right? And click start. Make sure you use date. Use visual. Take that speed down initially, and click start. And we go charts, review, the history center, dollar CAD. Let's see, dollar CAD. I should have plenty of data for dollar CAD. USD, CAD. Oh, okay. Okay, good. I got 2014. Okay. And 2014, I guess. So we go 2014. Start. Okay. Oh, this one should be higher as well. Okay. We can do. Let's go up to 2015 April and click start. All right. So now we've got this chart. It's a bar chart. Looks pretty. We want to go to our template. We should have our Forex Cash Machine template built in, right? And now we're here. Now you can see here I've added ADX of 14. Long as this ADX is below, it's at 15 right now, 15.7. Long as it stays below 33, we basically want to play the range. Buy support, sell resistance. We're not anywhere here, so there's no trade. We're going to take our position size down a little bit to maybe a $0.1 a pip. I'll leave my stop losses at 30 and 30, so I'll have a. Now we broke the median line, so that's a median line trade. And then I have my take profit Take profit is up there somewhere. There it is. Take profit is right there at that line there. Stop loss, put it right below the swing low. Oh, they can't see where my stop is. Okay. Not that low. I wanted it below here. Needs to get a little bit more speed. I don't know where I had my take profit right there, and it moved somewhere. Let's kind of keep going here. Okay. Well, my stop was right there. I don't know where my stop went. Okay. What? Okay. Now I had stops and limits in there. This thing might have glitched out. Okay. So see ADX is above 34. It's digging there, and now we're popping up. Let's see if it will give us, and place my stop a little low. I don't know where my stop should be, right there, right? Median line, take profit. Up, and there we go, right? Okay. So, see my stop was placed there. It didn't register. I took it manually, took it out, and then we had dig in here. You can see we got an RSI double bottom, and price broke out. Now we're outside the bands, so it should be setting up for a short. RSI did break, but it's still above 70. This is a good example because this broke, but it's still above 70, and I like to see it come below 70. But this is something that a setup where I would look at for possibly a short, where a banker's support resistance line 110.25. So I'm going to be targeting a short. Looking for the trend line break. And wow, it's really outside the bands. But look at ADX. ADX is still way out there. Now we're getting some red candles. RSI cruised above 70. And maybe we got a little bit of support right there. We'd like to see maybe something. We're coming off the line. And looking at that RSI, can that thing come below 70? And we did, so I get short. Stop above the high, and the median line's down here. So that's my target. My stop is above the high. It could flash up and stop me out, but then I might take another shot at it. And we were stopped out. Okay. Draw another trend line. RSI did make it made a new high, but RSI made a lower high. So if I give it, see if we can give it another shot, see if we break the trend line. You draw a little RSI trend line there. And let that RSI break down. ADX has come down quite a bit. ADX is at 28, but it's back at 32 again. And now ADX is 45, and she's running again. So sometimes you get these moves where it just runs. RSI is still above 70. And ADX keeps us out of this trade because it's way up there. Okay. Now we're breaking down median line, stop above the high right there. Our median line actually moved up on us, huh? Median lines are actually right there. Ah! Okay. See, this is a wild one. I picked 2015, 2011 to 2015. And then we limited out on that trade. Okay, and then we broke down below the median line. Right? Our last swing high is here. So we can try, we got out here. We took a short break of the median line and see if we can get down to this line. Oh, we bounced off one of those, and our limit's right there. RSI is, ADX is above 40, so we should see a drop as this thing is trending down. And we might have missed our exit there. Really close. Dots are switching direction, and we're above the median line. And I was looking at RSI because RSI broke this trend line here. Just as I was probably going to pull the trigger on this. We broke the trend line. But we were stopped out. Okay. We're pushing up against this line again. ADX is at 37. And we broke down. Let's say we took a shot at a short. Back to the median line. Let's see if we get that drop. See if we can make this a little bit faster. Okay, we got tagged out on that. Okay, bouncing off the median line. Oh, probably wanted to go. And then so we limit out on that one. Okay. Outside the median line, maybe a buy. Target. Our stops below, low risk trade, and target median line. Okay. All right. So you can see that it had a big dig outside of the median line. We had a RSI double bottom right there. we had a trend line break. Now, it was kind of tough because we were getting kind of chopped up, stopped out here, stopped out there. But then we took this one short. We made money on the short side here, continued with another short, and then got in long. Dig outside. This was a really nice dig. Try a color here and a pen. Okay. So we got a nice dig outside of these lines, and that dig got us to this median line target. Okay, so we got a nice. Our dig was out to the south side. We were able to take profit there, and we can see that we have a median line trade here. We can place a stop above the high and look for a target down to this level of support. If this breaks, I know Christian was asking, when do I reverse a trade? Well, we trade from Bollinger Band, from lower or outside range to a median line. We trade from median line to the next outside range. We use trend line breaks in RSI. Trend line break there got us in. And then not only is the median line, but we also have a break of the RSI trend line. So we have a number, so we have a pretty good setup there. Okay. Now, this is a low risk trade. It could go higher. It could go lower. We don't know, but we're going to risk 2% to find out, right? So we can go ahead. Let me get rid of my pen. Go normal drawing mode. And we're using the Forex simulator, and we're trading up the 0.1 lot, stop loss of. I'm having a stop loss and take profit of 30 because you want to have a stop loss in. That way you can maneuver it around the swing highs and swing lows. Let me go ahead and get rid of the drawing tools. Okay. When you, because if you try to add numbers in after the simulator starts, you won't be able to. So I just put an arbitrary number of 30. It puts something on the screen, and I can show you really quickly how that. So this controls the speed. This bar, slider bar behind my head, controls the speed. I drop the speed down to 3, and then I'm going to place my trade. I'm looking at a possible short. I've got bearish candles at the median line. But like I said, if we break that high, I want to flip and get long for a target here. Right now, my target is from the median line is to this Bollinger Band down there. I'm going to remove this. Okay, so I'm looking at this as my target area. Again, I'm using randomized price data. So this is what I'm looking at. Okay, so let me go ahead and go normal drawing mode. Okay, so I'm going to click sell. And there's my stop, and I'm going to move my limit down to this area. Okay, so my stop loss is above the swing high. And like I said, it could get nailed. And if it does, that's okay. I'm risking small, and I'm preparing to get long if it breaks to go higher. Okay, so, and I can make it go a little bit faster. I don't make it too fast. I want to be able to get on the long side if I need be. So this is the median line, that middle line. And we're looking for price. ADX is below 30. So when the ADX is down, we're in a ranging environment. The moment it starts spiking above 33, then things don't act the way they we're going to go into a trending environment, and the trending environment could take us farther. So let's see. And I'm just looking at the white line. I'm not really paying attention to these, you know, I mean, you can say, oh, wow, this crossed over. It's a buy signal. Don't follow that. I'm just looking at, is this a ranging market or a trending market? Okay, so we're going to speed this up a little bit because this is starting like watching turtles race. And it's breaking. So it broke out really fast, and we were able to, it didn't hit our stop. It's hitting that median line again. And winner, chicken dinner, okay? So you can see that price rallied up to our stop. It didn't take us out. Crossed back below the median line and hit our take profit. So this is what we got so far, our results. Okay. So we made 45 bucks on that trade. Made $38 in the other trade, 26, and we lost 2, we lost 3, lost 4, but we still up in profit, right? So we're keeping our, trading up 0.1 lot, which is a 10K dollar pip. And it doesn't matter if I trade 0.1 or 0.001 or 0.02 or 10.0 or 20.0. The strategy is the same. Okay? A lot of people get caught up in the numbers. Well, Greg, you trade 10 standard lots and that's why you're making so much. It's like, on a percentage gain, you can actually go into the settings, and we actually can stop this. Let's stop. Okay. And then we can go into expert properties, and we go to testing. We can change it. We can say, okay, I want a $1,000 account. Okay. And then we click OK. So we can do that. So that's what we what we can do there. So remember, we have our RSI. I have RSI 8. You can use RSI 10. That's going to be our trigger line and drawing a trend line on RSI. ADX, all we're going to pay attention to is the ADX line. And in fact, what I will do is remove these two lines in my settings. Go to like setting properties and go to like is there like none and none? Click OK. That's all. This is the line that I want to look at, because once this is in a downtrend and ADX crosses, it's at 43. This should start powering down a lot, because what will happen is you guys go, oh wow, and this is what we used to do before. This is the modification. This is the Greg McLeod modification of the system that we used back in 2009, which we didn't have. Is when the ADX starts trending this way, 43, 50, 60, we are going to stay out of any long positions, because you hear like say, oh wow, Greg, this is digging. I want to get long. This can keep going and going and going and going, right? Like the Duracell bunny, it'll keep dropping. So we want that ADX to be clearly coming back into a ranging mode. And you can see back here, it was clearly in a range. We could have sold and bought support and resistance easily, right? In the range. Now, it's trending down. This ADX doesn't tell direction, so don't think, oh, ADX is going up, this is going to go up. That it can confuse you. I know it can. ADX used to confuse me too. It's looking at the number. The number is 43. It means that we're in a trending environment. It means that we could be trending down or trending up. Okay? Now, in this scenario, this is where the rules get turned upside down. Where you say, well, gee, Greg, this is outside here. It should snap back. No. It could run hundreds of pips down if ADX is above 33. Okay, I know books tell you, well, ADX is above 40. He's like, no, 30. When it gets above like 32, 33, that's when it's gonna start rocketing, and this probably rockets way down. I know we stopped it beforehand, but ADX is here. We don't want to be buying this market, okay? Because what happens, you'll buy, it'll go lower. You'll buy, it'll go lower. You'll buy, it'll go lower, and you'll blow up your account, right? But really, you shouldn't risk any 2%. Hey, if you're on this one trade and you risk 2%, remember, non-correlated pairs, our rules we talked about is that you risk 2% risk in any single trade. So if you're already at 2% risk on one trade, you really can't add another one. Let's say you're at 1% risk, and then you can add 2 trades, right? So you can have 2 trades on a single currency pair. And you can change these, make rules for yourself. You can say, hey, I'll make this 3, I can take 3 1% risk trades, and maybe I can dollar cost average. But you don't want to dollar cost average into an ADX of 45, 50, or 60, because this thing is going to rocket. Now, once ADX gets around 60, and we're still digging outside of these bands, what's going to happen is that's actually going to be a turning point in the market, because this thing is, it means it's like a tachometer on your car. If that thing starts revving about 7,000, 8,000 RPM, that thing's, you're gonna blow your engine, right? So that's how the like a tachometer, right? That thing starts going above 7,000, 8,000 RPM, the engine will blow up. You know, I used to have this drag racing video game for Activision, and we'd be revving the engine and going, but that engine goes too fast. 8,000 RPM, 9,000, boom, your engine blows up. That's what happens with ADX. If this is trending down and this gets above 60, it's getting ready to blow a gasket. When it blows a gasket, that's when we can jump on a buy this back to the upside, and it'll be a really good buy, right? Because what happens, ADX will go to 60, then starts dropping. You can actually put a trend line on ADX. Now I'm thinking about it. You could put a trend line ADX. ADX turns down and we're going digging. That's going to give you a tremendous trade. I just thought about that. Like RSI. RSI right now is just going to stay above 30, below 30, and oscillators will give you false signals. They'll continue to generate false signals, telling you, buy, it's buying, we're oversold. The thing can be oversold for longer than you have money to actually trade. So this keeps going down. RSI stays at 30, and it doesn't come up for air, right? And meanwhile, your account goes margin call. So, but if you get ADX breaking the trend line and RSI breaking trend line, and we're outside the red band, you're gonna have a really nice median line trade, right? It's gonna look beautiful. Somebody give me I want to welcome Talks to the group. Nice to have you, brother. I see you in the room. Awesome. I see. I think it's Ken. Ken, are you invite only LLC? Is that you in the chat box? Howdy. Don't know if that's you or maybe Talks. Oh. Invite only is Talks. Okay, so okay. Nice. Welcome. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead. Give me a currency pair, and give me a year. Currency pair in a year. A lot of people like going, well, Greg, you know these trades by heart, and that's why you know how to trade them. Like, dude, can't memorize all the years of every currency pair that's ever traded, right? I know I'm old and smart, but I'm not that old and not that smart. Okay. So give me a currency pair, and we're going to practice using the system, using the trade. GBP USD, pound dollar. Sean, double dollars. Okay. 2012. Okay. Tox gave me Euro Yen 2002. 2012. Okay. So let's go. 2012. Back in time. I hope we have 2012 data. There we go. It's 2012. Let's go January, and we'll see how much it will give us. Okay. And cable, and then we'll do a Euro Yen. Yeah, I remember that. You remember when I was in Pip and Run, and we had Bob from New Zealand, and I said, Bob, are you there? He said, yeah, we're still alive, because New Zealand is a day ahead. You know, like it was like Friday or something that the world was supposed to end. I was scared because I called my mom and she didn't answer the phone. And I called my friend Sean Hyman. He's another trader, and he's a Christian. And, you know, they talk about the rapture, and he didn't answer his phone either. So I'm like going, dang, I got left behind. That sucks. You know, I remember that. Because it was supposed to be the rapture. Pound dollar. Come on, Greg. G. Starts with a G, Greg. Pound dollar was good to me. Did you guys see the trade that I posted on pound dollar? Pound dollar was good for me. Was it good for you? Okay. Let's go ahead and get this party started. Pound dollar, 2012. Start your engines. All right. Oh, I guess I don't have the data for that. What's going on here? View. Okay, we go to File, no, Charts, Tools, History Center, Cable. I was getting all kinds of data. Okay, let's add 1 minute, download. Wow, that's so weird. There we go. 1994, baby. Woohoo! How can we go back here? How can we go back? You can't go back. Our data. I'm going to go back to 2018? That kind of sucks. Download. Okay, there is something, I don't think I put it in there. It's in the scripts. It actually is a downloading, okay, updates, visual data. Go to scripts, load all history. Okay. Okay, let's go back. Okay. View, okay. Tools, History Center, and oh yeah, here we go. Oh, really? 5 minute data. Hour data. I should have hour data. 2014. Script, load all history. Okay, so I should be fetching data there. So it only got me at 2014. I won't give them back to 12, but it's fetching data, so we'll see what's going on there. Okay, so we're gonna go here. We're gonna add our template, Forex Cash Machine template. And I'm going to get rid of this drawing tool stuff here, erase all drawings. Okay, so I couldn't get back to that time. I guess it's still loading data in the background maybe. And let's press play. And then we can take our position size down to 0.01. And stops are 30. And this thing's really taking off on me, huh? Ah, man, median line trade, right? Too late. Stop was too tight. Stop should have been above the high, but let's see. We got bounce off this line here. I mean, it's very tight, and we have maybe a buy there. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, and then the low, and notice how ADX is down. Which means we should bounce off of lows and go back up to highs. So let's see. We're really kind of drifting off here. So speed this up a little bit. Again, this is a great way of building confidence in the system and also learn how to take care of risks. And this is 7.4 maybe. I mean, the median line is really close to our entry. Our entry is at the median line, so we didn't quite get the low there. But I think we can hit that median, this lower Bollinger Band right there. All right. And I'm going to speed this up a little bit. Speed. Oh, we're digging in the line again. Okay, so we're going to stop that. Give it a try again. We broke the trend line. Up. And we got long again. We'll move this behind this low. Up. Move too fast. So we came down, we dug, and then we pulled back. Stop should have been placed below the low. That stop was too small, and we got stopped out prematurely. And so let's make this go a little bit faster. We're looking for a dig, and here's a dig here. And RSI break and take profit up, and then we made money. We got limit out at the median line. Pull back to the line again. Press buy again. Stop below the low. Take profit at the median line. Right. Now, ADX is starting to spike up, but now it turned back down, and we should be limit out. Oh, what? Stopped and limit out. Oh, a long wick. Okay, now let's pause right there. Okay. Well, I mean, we had a nice setup, and our trend line break of RSI. It's a pretty setup. Very pretty setup. Trend line break, we got long, but we got stopped out, right? Why? Because price, we got in long here. Actually, there was a trend line break back here. Trend line break, and then let me get rid of, again, with the ADX, all I care about ADX is the line, not these lines here. So I'm going to click none because I don't want to see those. I'm actually going to go to the ADX line. Can I make that like a darker color because it's kind of faded? Right. So that's what I really want to focus on. Right. And also in the ADX, I also want to add levels. Okay, so I want to put that 33 level in there. I'm going to add. We're going to put a 33 level or 32 level. Okay, add. And I also want to add a 60 level. And I'm going to add a 40 level. And we can't see those because we're down below, right? Now we had a great trade. It came up, looked like it was going to go to target, and then before it hit target, our target was the median line. So it hit the median line, but it wicked us out with a stop right there, right? So we actually lost on this trade. So sometimes you'll have this pretty trade, guys. It fits all the rules. We're making money, and it gets right to our limit and wicks down and takes us out, right? So that's why we don't risk any more than 2% on our account on any of these trades, because we can get something really weird like this. So price is coming into that line. Oh, and missed our trade. It jumped right in there, and we can place our stop below the low. Limit. These are really tight ranges, my goodness. Median line is right there. And we have the same thing went on, right? Where a long wick down and then a move higher. And again, that's kind of sad. It's like, hey, we're gonna make it, and you know, I tell you, 2012 maybe the end of the world, but 2014 would have been kind of rough, you know, because you had your stop a little low, and that happened, right? Price pulled back down in there. Now, and ADX is still low, so we should be playing the ranges from bottom to top. Bouncing in there. Play stop below the low. Maybe target the median line there. I mean, not the median line, but the top of the range. I mean, we're at the and we can take that, take our 17 bucks. You know. Now, did they get go any higher? Okay, now look at ADX above 32, above 40. You see it's starting to trend, right? Now, if you try to sell this now, it's probably going to hurt you. This is where you actually got to turn this around. And boom, we made money on that. That was so fast, right? I actually got long. It bounced back up, got long, and got limited out there. And that was a pretty fast trade. Look, can we see the result of that particular trade? Okay. So we made 34 bucks on that one, 20 bucks down. We're still down about 70 bucks. But by keeping our losses small, we were able to stay in the game and not blow up our account, right? So now, look, ADX has just broken the trend line. RSI has broken the trend line. And we're coming out of the red zone. So we should be able to at least hit this area down here and probably the old low down here, right? So we can go ahead and take a shot at that with a sell. And the stop will be above that swing high there. So we're going to click a sell. Put the stop up above the high. And I'm actually going to target the low. And we can speed this up a bit. It bounced off the median line. Kind of interesting. But let's see if we come on down. Come on down. Come on down. Oh, come on down. Came down to right to our take profit and turned around. And then we're out. Okay, so pause. Okay. So you guys see that? Did you see how that worked? Type in the one in the chat box if you understood how that trade turned out. Sean, nice. Got number one. We rallied into the red zone. Got short and took profit here. We got but look at this though. This is new information. That's why you need to be in the coaching sessions with me on this weekly basis, because this is another nugget. This ADX trendline break. That's why I had the 60 in there as a level. I got rid of those other lines, the DI plus, DI minus. They're useless. You'll get confused, and just take them off and just use straight ADX. And what ADX is going to do is, when you have a trending market, you basically flip the rules of the market machine upside down, right? But once that ADX, it's like this. This tachometer. I don't know if you guys drive a stick shift. And that thing gets above the 8,000, 900,000 RPM. Oh. It blows up. Boom, right? When you're pushing the engine too much. So this is like your uptrend. And that RPM hits, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000 RPM. The engine's going to overheat and it's going to blow up. So that's what's going on here. Where price goes up so far that ADX gets above 60, it blows up. And then it starts to drop down. All right. Similarly, you'll have something ADX go so low. But basically, it's the high. I wouldn't want to reverse it. It's not reliable, because this is where the market is like totally over exuberant. Too many people involved in it, and they think they're betting on it going higher. And when you have something like this and it crosses down, this is like telling us that people are piling out of this trade. Okay. Now ADX is kind of normal. It's like at 32, right? So basically, the rules of Forex Cash Machine are intact. Buy at support, sell at the median, buy at support. But we have a double bottom on this trade, double bottom on RSI. This thing is probably going nuclear, right? Median line is our first target, and if we got in, really be cool if we could have got in like here. We have a morning star pattern at a key level of support at a banker's line. 66.25 is a banker line. So we have a banker's. Let me show you a banker support. Can we put banker support on here? Oh, well, let's see if we can do that. It's simulation. You probably won't be able to do it, but let's go ahead. Let's get long. long and strong. Oh, no, 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 no. I missed it. That sucks. That sucks, right? Okay. I chased this trade. I'm going to use that spike low as my stop low. Oh, limit out. Bam, bam, bam. Why did I tell you? Boom. There we go. Oh, spike outside. Break on. Look at the break on ADX. And we made money on that one, right? And now we're back at break a little bit. We're $27 above break even, right? We start off $1,000. We were able. I mean, we got low, a little bit low. Like 914 was the low of our. And then we broke out, right? Because what's going to happen is the market's going to get. It's going to throw us some curveballs, and then we're going to have capital left over to really get into some of these trades. You can see we got out. We got in here. I was late because I pressed the wrong button. I wanted to press buy instead of the play button. But we got in here. And we got out there. And that would have been a really great short. Because we got the ADX breaking. We have RSI breaking. And we've got money on the table. Making money. Okay. So, any questions? Yeah. So we made a profit, right? 2.7% is not bad because you couldn't get that at the bank. So if there are no questions, we'll go ahead and we'll wrap things up because it's 4 o'clock Eastern time. I want to thank you so much for being here for our coaching session for the Forex Cash Machine. If you have any questions, make sure you pop them in the Skype chat. That's where all the fun and action is, guys, in our Skype chat. So I look forward to seeing you soon. It's Greg McLeod. Peace and pips. Cheers. Bye.